You know the world, guys, right? The world around us, the world in which we're living, the planet Earth, right? In today's video, I will be focusing your attention on all the possible English idioms made with the world that you gotta know, that if you know your English is amazing. English idioms commonly used by native speakers containing the word world. Are you ready? Of course you are, so let's get started. The first English phrase is to think the world revolves around you. To think the world revolves around you. To think the world revolves around you. When you think the world revolves around you, you think you're the most important person in the world and everyone should respect you, everyone should care about you. Your requests and demands and needs are more important than others. Your demands, requests, and needs should always be the high priority, for everyone, and everyone should always listen to you, care about you, because you're the most important person in the world. So, to think the world revolves around you emphasizes the idea that someone is so selfish that they think they're the most important person in a group, or there's someone that others should pay all their attention to, should focus all their attention on, and should always make sure that they're happy. An example of this phrase: he always thinks the world revolves around him and never considers other people's needs. He always thinks the world revolves around him and never considers other people's needs. He always thinks the world revolves around him and never considers other people's needs, meaning that he always thinks everyone should pay attention to him. Everyone should focus all their attention on him, and he's the most important person in the world, which is why his needs are more important than others, or his needs must be in high priority. They got to be dealt with before anyone else's, and he's the person that everyone should care a lot about or pay attention to because he's the most important person in the world. So he thinks the world revolves around him, and he never considers other people's needs. Is there anyone around you who thinks the world revolves around them? How do you feel when you spend time with such people? I mean, how do you behave towards them? Do you treat them in a way that you also think the world revolves around them, or do you behave towards them in a way that you give them the feeling that you're not important, I don't care about you, you're as important as everyone. Everyone in the world is important. Every individual is important. So do you have this sort of person around you, among your friends, family members, relatives, acquaintances, anyone who thinks the world revolves around them? I want you to comment the answer down below. The second English idiom with the word world is not to be long for this world. Not to be long for this world. Not to be long for this world. When we say someone is not long for this world, it means someone is just about to die. Someone maybe is, very old, or someone is ill. Someone has a problem, a health problem. Someone is in a certain situation that has actually made them get closer to their death, or someone is about to die, someone is on the verge of their death. So when we say someone is not long for this world, it means someone is not supposed to live any longer in the world. Someone is expected to pass away or die soon, for any reasons, for one reason or another. An example of this phrase: all doctors have said that he's not long for this world due to his serious condition. All doctors have said that he's not long for this world due to his serious condition. All doctors have said that he's not long for this world due to his serious condition, meaning that all doctors have said that he's not expected or believed to live any longer, to be alive any longer. He's expected or supposed to pass away or die soon because of his serious health condition. The third English idiom with the word world is to think the world of someone. To think the world of someone. To think the world of someone. When you think the world of someone, you have a very good or high opinion of someone. You admire someone so much, you respect someone so much, you have a lot of respect for someone. You think that someone has a wonderful character and personality. So to think the world of someone means to have a very good and very strong opinion of someone or something, to think that someone is amazing, and to have a very positive mind about someone. An example of this phrase: her YouTube fans think the world of her. Her YouTube fans think the world of her. Her YouTube fans think the world of her, which means her YouTube fans have a very good or a very high opinion of her and have a lot of respect for her, admire her so much. in a very significant way. So her YouTube fans think the world of her, which means her YouTube fans have a lot of respect for her. Her YouTube fans respect her so much. Her YouTube fans have a high opinion of her. Is there anyone that you think the world of? Who is that person and why do you think the world of them? Comment the answer down below in the comment section. The next phrase that you gotta learn with the word world is someone would give the world to do something. Someone would give the world to do something. Someone would give the world to do something. When someone would give the world to do something, they would do anything. They're ready to do anything, to do something. They're willing or ready to do something at all costs. In other words, when we say someone would give the world to do something, it means someone wants to do something so much and so badly that they're, willing to do whatever it takes to do it. They're willing to do, anything that they should to be able to do it, or to make it possible for themselves to be able to do it. An example of this phrase: she would give the world to buy that fancy car. She would give the world to buy that fancy car. She would give the world to buy that fancy car, which means she's willing to do whatever it takes to buy that car. She's ready to do whatever it takes, or to do anything that she should or she's expected to do to be able to buy that car. Or she wants that car so badly and so much that she's willing and ready to do whatever it takes to buy that car. What about you? Is there anything that you would give the world to do? What is it? And why would you give the world to do it? Comment the answers down below in the comment section. Moving to the next phrase, the next English idiom that you gotta learn how to use with the word world, which is the world is your oyster. 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 When we say the world is your oyster, it means you have a lot of opportunities, you can do whatever you want, and you can achieve anything. There is no limit to what you can have, what you can achieve. You got a lot of opportunities. You got all that you need, whatever it takes to achieve anything you want. And there is no limit to the things that you can have or achieve. You can go as far as you want. You can get as far as you want and achieve anything you want. You just name it. An example of this phrase: with your talent and determination, the world is your oyster. You can do anything. With your talent and determination, the world is your oyster. You can do anything. With your talent and determination, the world is your oyster. You can do anything. Which means, considering the talent, the skills, the potentialities, and the determination you have, you can almost do anything. There is no limit to what you can have, what you can achieve, what you can buy, what you can get. You got a lot of opportunities considering your skills, potentialities, and talent. So the world is your oyster. You can do anything you want, achieve anything you want. The next English phrase with the word world is to put the world to rights. To put the world to rights. To put the world to rights. When you put the world to rights, you try to solve the problems in the world, the social, economic problems, or any issues and problems in human's life or in the society, in order to improve people's lives. This happens usually in a very philosophical or in a social way. I mean, when someone tries to put the world to rights, they're trying to do their best. They're trying to go out of their way to fix the problems of the society, the social and economic problems, to make sure that everyone is living a happy life, to make sure that everyone's life is improving, to improve the general quality of life for everyone. An example of this phrase: he's always dreaming of finding ways to put the world to rights and make everything perfect. He's always dreaming of finding ways to put the world to rights and make everything perfect. He's always dreaming of finding ways to put the world to rights and make everything perfect, which means he's always looking for ways after ways to improve the overall and general quality of life for everyone and make everything perfect. The next English phrase is to do someone a world of good. To do someone a world of good. to do someone a world of good. When something does you a world of good, it is beneficial to you. It benefits you in many ways. It improves your life, it improves your situation, and it is useful and helpful in many ways. It benefits you in many ways. It is to your advantage in many ways. It is of great benefit to you in many ways. An example of this phrase: learning English does you a world of good. Learning English does you a world of good. Learning English does you a world of good, which means learning English can help you in many ways, can benefit you in many ways, and can be of benefit to you in many ways. Is very beneficial and useful. So does you a world of goods. Is there anything that you think can do you a world of good now? What is it that can do you a world of good? I want you to tell me all about it down below in the comment section. The next English phrase made with the word world is to be a man or woman of the world. To be a man or woman of the world. To be a man or woman of the world. When we say someone is a man or woman of the world, what we're trying to say is that someone is very knowledgeable and experienced, someone has traveled the world, someone has been to many places in the world, and when it comes to life knowledge, they're very skilled and knowledgeable. They're experienced. They've experienced lots of things. They've, been in many situations, and we can turn to them for advice. We can ask them for advice, or we can listen to them. So a man or woman of the world is a very experienced and knowledgeable person who has traveled the world and knows a lot about the world. An example of this phrase: always listen to your father. He's a man of the world. He's traveled all over the world, and he knows things you don't. Always listen to your father. He's a man of the world. He's traveled all over the world and knows things you don't. Always listen to your father. He's a man of the world. He's traveled all over the world and knows things you don't. Meaning that your father is a very experienced and knowledgeable person. He's traveled the world. He's traveled all over the world and knows things you don't. So you better rely on him, count on him, and turn to him for advice and ask him for his advice. He's the best person that you can turn to for advice. He's a man of the world. The next English phrase is to think the world owes you a living. To think the world owes you a living. To think the world owes you a living. When we say someone thinks the world owes them a living, what we mean is that someone believes they deserve success, they deserve a good life, they deserve all the best in the world without having to work hard for them. They believe that everything should be given to them without having to work hard to achieve them. They believe that they deserve all the best in the world, they deserve success in the world without having to work so hard to achieve them. They believe that they're unique and special and everything should be given to them. All the best in the world should be given to them without having to work hard to achieve them, which is not the kind of mindset that helps you succeed, right? Which is not the kind of mindset that enables you to meet with success. So when someone thinks the world owes them a living, they are the ones who think they, should meet with success without having to work hard. They should achieve things overnight, and things should be given to them without, them having to work hard to achieve them. It's actually used in a negative way. I mean, it's when someone has this sort of mindset, they're completely disapproved of, and people don't like the ones who think the world owes them a living. An example of this phrase: she always complains of not having enough money. She thinks the world owes her a living. She always complains of not having enough money. She thinks the world owes her a living. She always complains of not having enough money. She thinks the world owes her a living, which means she always complains of not having enough money, and she thinks she should be given money without having to work to earn it. She thinks she should be given money without, having to do anything, without having to put effort into earning it, without having to put in effort or put in a lot of hard work to earn it. So she always complains of not having enough money. She thinks the world owes her a living. And the final phrase of today's video with the word world that you gotta learn is the phrase to come into the world. To come into the world. To come into the world. When we say someone comes into the world, what we mean is someone is born. So to come into the world is a poetic and literary way of saying that someone is born. An example of this phrase: I'm so excited because my son will come into the world at the end of this month. I'm so excited because my son will come into the world at the end of this month, meaning that I'm so excited because my son will be born at the end of this month. He will come into the world at the end of this month. We will have him at the end of this month. We're expecting him at the end of this month. And that's about all, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. Now let's review all these fantastic English phrases and idioms that you learned in today's video with the word world. Think the world revolves around you. Think the world revolves around you. Think the world revolves around you. Someone is not long for this world. Someone is not long for this world. Someone is not long for this world. Think the world of someone. Think the world of someone. Think the world of someone. The world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. Put the world to rights. Put the world to rights. Put the world to rights. Do someone a world of good. Do someone a world of good. Do someone a world of good. A man or woman of the world. A man or woman of the world. A man or woman of the world. Think the world owes you a living. Think the world owes you a living. Think the world owes you a living. Come into the world. Come into the world. Come into the world. Thank you for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Make sure you like this video and support this YouTube channel. Thank you for doing so, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll be back soon.